Coach, we'll take your thoughts on tonight's match, Stanford. Then we'll take some questions from the group.
We've been talking about all week about a better mindset, and I thought we had it tonight. That's how we have to play from a mindset standpoint. And if we do that again, I think we're a legitimate team, a contender. Again, we didn't execute, as well as we needed to, particularly in the serve and pass game. It was good, but not good enough, where we give some points away there. But I liked our energy. I liked our competitiveness. I liked how aggressive we were going for things, and we just got to make that our habit. And I'm proud of how we played, the composure we had, and how we worked tonight.
Again, getting the ball in the middle was really effective. How key was that to when you guys need to score, getting points?
Yeah, I mean, again, we have 4 middles on our team that can all do so much damage. They're all really, really good. And what they do is they're competing against each other in practice every day, and they really enjoy that. So I think it brings out the best in them, which is great. And yeah, I mean, that's why, Kara, they know it's coming, and she's still doing damage. And I thought Colby did an excellent job. So many good block touches, and her offense was really solid. And I think she did everything that we needed her to do. So proud of them, and yeah, we want to get them involved as much as we can.
What did they do to make it harder on your pins?
I mean, again, serving tough, right? So again, I felt like every time we had a good pass, we were pretty automatic, as I'm sure it would have felt like. And that was from everywhere. Again, it's a big block, so when you're out of system, when you don't have a great pass and they know it's going to you, you're really presented with a challenge. And I thought the first 3 sets in particular, I thought Mimi was attacking the hands beautifully. I thought she was getting up after it, aggressive, and taking a lot of really good swings. I thought Morgan was really aggressive, and I thought she just missed a handful of times, but I thought they were all really good swings, including the last one. Again, that's where she needs to be, and we just need to execute that a little bit better.
Colby got the start. What kind of went into that, her getting the start today? Was it more of just a matchup thing, or was it
So Colby's been doing a great job. Again, I think we're talking about fighter mentality. Like, she's really had that in practice. She's been very noticeable and been very consistent. And then Carson got banged up a little bit this last week, and I thought on Friday she kind of looked tentative with her movement. So Colby deserved that opportunity, and I thought she did a great job with it.
You talked about just the team being kind of tentative last week.
Yeah.
Just how did you feel like the offense kind of came out today? You talked about just the mentality. Just what kind of mentality did you want the Pins especially to just kind of have on offense, knowing that it was going to be a bigger block?
Yeah, you have to go in attacking their hands. Like, if you're going in unaggressive and just trying to avoid them, you don't have a chance, right? So for us, again, I thought we were the anti-tentative team tonight. Like, we were throwing our shoulder out. I've seen more balls sail 30 feet long today than we have in our whole year. But we had to get there so that we can figure out how to do that well. So again, it's where we are right now in our progression. That's where we are as our team. So we're not quite executing that where we need to, but that's what we have to do first in order to get there. And so I'm really proud of us for even, again, in all the big points to lose 1, 2, and 4, they were all very aggressive mistakes on our end. And our thing last year was, again, we want everything in our hands. If the error is going to come or the point's going to happen for them, we want it to be on our terms. And it was tonight. And so what we can learn from that is how do we go in aggressive, but then we execute just a little bit better to make that swing in.
Just where you're at in your season, there's still time to be working through things like that. At what point does this more of a sense of urgency have to kick in for postseason, or does it still feel like you have time to work through some things?
One of the messages this week is if we're not always trying to grow or get better, then we're going to go the other way. And so I thought we looked very different this weekend than last weekend in the same arena. And so that was, even in the win against Arizona, I thought we looked very different this weekend than last weekend. So that was really encouraging. I think this team, we have a lot of potential to be a great team. And so for us, we can make changes quickly. I think that will really, benefit us and make us more successful. So this was a big part for us. I like that we didn't back down against them. I thought, we were really attacking it. Again, we just need to execute a little bit better.
Anything their outsides were doing to be as efficient as they were?
They're really good. They're very different. So again, that's hard sometimes when you're trying to defend, pretty much completely different attackers. So you got to remember your game plan against the two. And I felt like a handful of times we were taking away a tendency of one rather than the other. And so a few times I thought we broke down with the discipline on that. No, but for the most part, I thought up until really the 4th set, I thought we were doing a good job on them up until the 4th set. But Elia is an excellent player, Ruben. And she really, moved the ball around and attacked our block well. But I thought, again, going into the 4th set, we're out hitting him, out blocking him, out digging him, and it was just the difference of the serve and pass game. So I think as far as game plan goes, we were doing everything we wanted to do.
You had 3 players with 10-plus digs today. that probably speaks a lot to the Florida defense. What did you like about your defensive role?
I thought again, we served aggressive, so then it made them much more predictable. Again, they really couldn't get their middles involved as much as I know they would have liked to, or even that back row attack to Kip, which, as you saw the couple times she did it, it's a pretty lethal weapon that they have. So that was, again, really important for us to do that. So then that helps set up our block. And again, I thought our block had so many good block touches throughout to slow the ball down, and then our defense was able to execute that. So I thought it started with our serve. Again, I know we missed more than we'd like, but to keep them on their heels the whole time is because we were back there with an aggressive mentality.
It seemed like tonight the challenges were up today, going back and forth on both sides. What kind of went into like all the decisions?
Well, I think the biggest reason for that is that ball was being hit as hard as we've seen it in I don't know how long. On both sides, like we were both just really getting after it. Which, I mean, it's really hard to be a ref when that's happening on both sides of that. I mean, you got Morgan hitting the ball 1,000 miles per hour, and then Kip's hitting the ball, it's just going back and forth. So I thought just the eyes adjusting to it. I mean, they're doing the best they could, but again, some of those touches when it's happening that fast, that's a really tough. So I'm thankful we have cameras and the challenge system, and the refs would just continue to look at it. They did the best they could, and we just happened to use the green card a lot more tonight.
What happened on that point? I think it was 10-9 in the fourth set. It could have gone either way. I think Carrots hit it back, and then
they called a lift on her. They said that it was in her hands too long. I respectfully disagreed, but it doesn't matter what I think. But I like the play from Kara. I thought it was a really great play, and just too bad.
Do you feel like that shifted the momentum?
No, I thought the next two serves after that did a little bit more, that we didn't side those out. Actually, I thought that rally was so great by us. That was one of our best rallies. That point was one of our best points, even though we didn't get it. But that, again, I think that goes back to where we were, where we were in our heads. I thought we were just really working hard. It was really the run by Ruben, at the end there, because even after that we came back a little bit more. Kate goes in and just has an amazing serving run, good for her. That was excellent. And then we make a couple blocks, and again we're right in it. It's just that one. I don't know how it felt like 6 or 7 in a row from her. I don't know how many it was, but then that's the difference. I mean, we lose by 6, So really, the whole match, I thought we were point for point, except for that one run by her, and good for her. Those were great serves. I think I took a challenge, 2 timeouts, like anything I could to get her off, and she just kept going with it. So they win because of that.
Just how important are runs in opponents like Stanford that do have like the serving and defense and offense, really the whole package, to kind of go with those?
Well, it's going to take, if you're going to allow them to get a sizable lead on you, then it's going to take that much more of an extra effort to get back in it, right? So good for Kate. She went back there, and those were beautiful serves to put some pressure back on them, right, coming out of that run from her. But it required Kate to go back there and do like an extra special effort. Again, then we just had to really be lights out from there, and then we didn't get the one tip off the block, and then one other play that we probably could have gotten. And that's the match. It's hard to come from behind and get a good team that sides out as well as they normally do, like Stanford.
Seems like you guys were really able in the preseason to kind of shake off losses and really come back, bounce back, and gain a lot of momentum. Just in the Pac-12 play, when you get a couple losses, it's a little bit harder to bounce back. Just going forward now from the rest until the end of the season, just what is your plan to kind of make sure that the team gets back on track, to keep that Pac-12 championship in mind, to keep a great postseason seed in mind? Just how do you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's one day at a time, right? And now with this, now it's out of our control. Right, you win tonight, it's still in your control. Now it's out of it, so we need Stanford to go, screwed up against somebody else or whatever. But again, for us, it's still going to be about our next day and what we can do to be playing our best at the end. But I thought coming off of a really disappointing last Sunday, again, I couldn't feel more different 1 week later than I felt last week. So for us, now can we continue to just push this and be so consistent in this effort and mentality?